spot the difference. Yep, I'll be here done. Allegedly I'm going bald up there somewhere. See, this is for my benefit, not yours. I'm trying to find out where I'm going bald. Right? Also got my glasses off. Right? My head is absolutely banging. 2 days solid. Now, siggraph's been and gone. Some rather interesting events. Silo 2.1 released. It's not a bad release, but I don't know whether it's just me, but I'm getting a lot of viewport bugs. A lot. Which spoils what is like a really good program. I've always said Silo is without doubt the best, pure poly modeler out there. It's fast, it's effective, it does the job, but this release has got a few bugs in. They really need to get this sorted ASAP, which is a shame because I love the program. What else did we see? Well, we saw the Mudbox thing. They didn't do the release or the demo release, and can you fucking blame them when you saw that the demos that they did? I assume that a lot of people here have watched the live demos on the area from siggraph. Oh dearie me. Lots of shine and polish, but it's full of bugs, isn't it? Did they actually manage to get that running once through the hour demo or half hour demo without crashing at least once? It's a shame. But there you go. So I had a feeling that things might not go according to plan, because you see I shouldn't have opened my bloody mouth on this thing, because it not just let Autodesk know that I knew, it also let Pixologic know that I'd made things slightly more known, and then they've obviously re-evaluated and thought, well, we'll pull back for the moment and just say that it's released, that the information's coming out, that we have 3.5 in development, and we will be showing something at some point after siggraph, but not right now. And to be honest, can you blame them? Because honestly, I think siggraph's a bit of a letdown from what I've seen. Now Pixologic, I can see why they didn't do it. Because at the moment the bells and whistles are all going to go around Mudbox and this nice viewport rendering stuff, which is actually pretty easy to implement. If you ask any games programmer, the real-time stuff's not that hard. If somebody had a few weeks and they could code in C, they could probably code a standalone real-time renderer that does exactly the same thing for use with ZBrush models. If somebody wanted to. Don't look at me, I haven't got bloody time. Yeah, I could probably code it. Well, I could have done a few years back, but not now. Too busy, and it's been too long, right? But somebody might, eventually. If they thought, maybe a good idea, might it? Really? Maybe it's just me. But anyway, so there wasn't exactly a whole lot of flash coming there. Although the Pixologic stand this year seemed to be like, might as well be called a no man's stand, to be quite honest. I think all apart from Seb and Magda were all connected to Norman in one way, shape or form, which, Pixologic, no, I don't particularly like that. It makes it look like there's no bloody other companies in existence or no other modelers in existence, There's plenty of people out there that don't record at all. I can think of at least 3 off the top of my head that would have been a good idea to have there. They're very good artists, but I don't know, obviously it's cheap, innit? Cheaper to get somebody who lives in LA than to ship somebody from all over the place, all around the world, alright? Yeah, so there's not a whole lot else happened. There was the soft image party, yeah, that all looked very nice. The blur party, which, I think people got the wrong end of the stick, but the idea of you couldn't get in unless you had 2 women with you, it sort of does demean women. Even if that was just a misunderstanding, that just is so wrong. That's treating women like sex objects and like chattels, Even as a joke, it's not right, and I would expect more from a big firm. Right? You talk about alienating the women in 3D. Come on, we haven't got a whole lot of them in 3D, right? So, what better way to alienate them than to put something jokey like that on a ticket? There you go. But again, they did seem to do quite a lot of backtracking afterwards. Oh well, it was only a joke, I didn't really mean it. Yeah, right. Of course you didn't. That's why I feel the need to pull in all the big names that used to work at Blur, eh? Don't worry, I'm just pissed off again as usual. You should have noticed by now that headaches have a nasty habit of doing that to me. You'll notice that I do actually have another jacket. See? I actually wear quite a lot of them, but I wear the denim one because it basically, it's not too warm when you're walking, because you sweat a lot if you're doing long walks. So I wear something that's a bit lighter. The denim jacket's one of the lightest jackets I've got. This one isn't, which means I'm going to sweat buckets by the time I get home. I'm waiting for a render at the moment. That's why I'm out for a walk. I shouldn't be out walking, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But you see, this is a big long render. I'm pushing my machine to the limits for a client. It's another last minute job, and this weekend, which I was supposed to be having off, I'm not now. Although it's good because that means I get sort of pay a few bills that I want to get out the way a bit earlier. See, so it's worth it. You know, one thing's just caught my eye. This electricity substation here, I don't think you can make it out as a sign that says Bunker Hill. Now, normally the name places round here, right, after something. You know, yeah, there used to be a steelworks in concert about a couple of miles that way, but why would they feel the need for a bunker? Because there obviously has been one at some point in time. Cold War? Don't know. I'll have to do a bit of investigation on that. Yeah, so why shouldn't we be walking? Right, I actually recorded another one earlier in the week, these, right, but it was in my workroom while I was working on some stuff for the Doctor Who thingy, and I had in the background something in a viewport, and I watched it after. I thought, they can't make it out too well, but I'll still get me bollocks hung from a tree if I put this out, so I won't hang it up, you know. And then I mentioned the fact that I went to the doctors. I've been having really, really fucking sore feet. I mean, you know, they're hurting like a bastard. It feels like you've got a massive blister on the soles of your feet. But I just put up with it. Now I just mentioned the doctor when I went in for a medical the other day, earlier in the week, and he said, well, actually, Mr. Robson, we normally only see this in people who are like Olympic athletes and shit. You know, we're not exactly those words, but you know what I mean, Olympic athletes and stuff, right? He says what it is like there's a tendon that runs along the sole of your feet, apparently. I'm not really big on tendons, right? And sometimes if you do a lot of walking on hard surfaces and stuff, it gets inflamed. They might say, well, you're not exactly walking barefoot. Well, what you don't know is I've got flat feet, right? And I've got these bloody great big hard leather inserts inside my shoes, right, that slip in and out. And it's like walking on wood or concrete. So when I go for a long walk, like I have been doing over the last year, a lot of them, it's just become really inflamed and really sore. So I'm supposed to rest it for a couple of weeks, right? Sit on my arse. But there's no chance of that happening. That's not the time. Oh, 3 more minutes yet. Yeah, so I'm being a bit silly, but it's been a very stressful day. Plus, there's nothing I hate more than sitting watching for an hour and a half a little line go across in 3D Max for the render. Alright, it drives me insane because it locks the PC up. Now I have finally managed, after 3 years of trying, to get distributed rendering working in Max, which to me is nothing short of a miracle, because every time I've tried it, followed the manual, it never works. But this is rather bizarre. It only works in one direction. Now I tried it 6 o'clock yesterday morning when I was downstairs. You know, Ken woke us up early. It was my turn, so he gets up, right, and he's watching his telly. I thought, oh well, I'll have another go at this stuff, right? I've been doing this all the time, 3 years, never got to work. Now the laptop downstairs runs Vista, and the machine upstairs runs XP. As long as I render using the XP, the main machine, basically as a slave on the distributed network, it works fine. Great. Do it the other way around, instant crash. Just, you know, everything just goes ape shit on the machine. But I don't need a new one anyway. I've been actually pricing some quad cores. You see, I'm in two minds because I know that Intel have got other stuff lined up, and you can just guarantee if I buy a machine, right, there's going to be a new processor come out, and I really can't be arsed for that shit. Anyway, what time is it? Alright, about a minute or so. I'll cover a lot of the stuff in the second part as usual. But yes, so been a funny old week. It's a bit of a shame my predictions were wrong though, you know. But again, I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong. But I think there was, if I hadn't opened my mouth, I think that's the way it might have played out. That and the fact that Mudbox had behaved in, you know, when it's live demo. But I think the reason behind that was, see, when you're testing software, they test it on certain machines and amongst certain beta testers. Now a lot of these guys have basically the same fucking machine, right? So you stick it on a strange machine or a strange laptop, all of a sudden you're dealing with different hardware and a different set of bugs that maybe you haven't come across. This is why I believe in having more open beta testing where you can, especially when it gets to a certain stage, because otherwise, if everybody has the same machine, you might as well have one beta tester, you know. Just makes no sense. But again, who am I? You know, doesn't really matter in my opinion. But I'll catch you in part 2. I'm going to go a bit further over there. We'll see if the horse is there today or not. And I'll catch you in a minute. Make sure you check out part 2. See ya.